Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the first update for my top 5 bottom 5 product pan, and if you didn't see the intro to this video, this is basically just a project where I want to get more use out of my makeup. So I have gone through all of my categories, or I am going to go through most of my makeup categories, and I'm going to pick my top 5 and my bottom 5 products in each type of category. So last month I introduced my highlighters, and those are the ones that I've been working on over the last month. And later today I'm going to introduce the blushes, but before we jump into any of my kind of progress, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. But let's just jump into showing you my highlighters. So like I said, last month I introduced 10 different highlighters, which are my top 5 and bottom 5. And when it comes to my highlighters, it's actually all of my highlighters because I only own 10 at the moment. And my goal for this project is to use each product 5 times each, because I just want to get a better feel of my collection, and the top product I want to show some more appreciation to, and the bottom ones I just want to go through and see if there's anything I want to declutter. So I do have my list of highlighters, and I'm going to go through the ones I've used over the last month, my kind of uses, and which ones I'm going to roll out. So from the products that I rolled in last time, I have used 4 of them 5 times. The other ones I'm still working on. So I'm going to go through the 4 that I have kind of reached my goal on and talk a bit more about them. The first one I have on my list is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder Highlights in Highlight 01. This was one of my top highlighters. I really love this product. It's more of a subtle highlighter, and I do still love this one, but kind of using it over the last month, I feel like I've been more into more intense highlighters recently, and this wasn't it. But I know this is a big favorite in my collection, and I definitely want to hold on to this one. But I was really happy to use this a bit over the last month, just to show it some love again and also get a better feeling about it. But I feel like this is something that I will always go back to, and I feel like I reach for this more in the winter month because of the shade. It is more of a lighter highlighter. So I think coming up in the next coming maybe 4 or 5 months, I am going to reach for this more. But overall, I'm really happy to have gotten my 5 uses out of this one. The next product is also one of my top highlighters. This is the Mary Luminizer from The Balm. This one isn't ranked as high as my Laura Mercier highlighter, but I actually was really happily surprised by this. It really impressed me, and when I kind of ranked this in my video, I mentioned that this wasn't anything special to me. But I feel like using it 5 times now over the last month, I have really built a new appreciation for this product. It's stunning on the cheeks, and I feel like it's quite a universal highlighter too. It is a bit lighter than some of the other highlighters that I have, but it's not as light as the Laura Mercier highlighter, so I feel like I can use this more all year round. And I feel like I've grown to love this so much more now than when I first started this project, so that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this, and I'm really happy to have used this also last month. The next 2 highlighters were both from the bottom of the list. The next one is the Colourpop Monster Super Shock Shadow Highlighter. I had pan on this before, as you can see. This is more of a pink kind of reflect highlighter, and I do like it. I mentioned in the introduction video that I don't really love it because it doesn't have as intense of a sheen that I wanted to have, and I can still agree with that. Using it over the last month, I kind of realized that although I do really love the shift in this, it has like a really weird base, and I feel like it kind of lifts or cover up so you blush, so it looks a bit weird if you're not careful with it. So yeah, it's still not my favorite, but I do want to hold on to this because also, like I mentioned, I don't have too many of these kind of pinky toned highlighters. I do have one more which I'm going to talk about later, but yeah, I feel like this is still something that I do want to keep in my collection. So although it's still on the bottom, and I'm happy that I've gotten the use out of it, I do still want to keep this. However, the next highlighter comes from NARS, and this is in the shade Albatross. This is probably my oldest highlighter. I think it was either this one or my Soft and Gentle. That was my first ever highlighter. I believe it was this one. So it's very old in my collection, and I used this over the last month, and I feel like this is something that I have been debating for a long time if I want to keep in my collection, if I want to pan, or what I want to do with it. But using this in combination with loads of these other highlighters, I just realized the quality on this isn't there. It's one of those kind of white to gold highlighters, but it's just very lackluster, and it has a super white base, so it's very kind of ashy on the skin as well. So I have decided to actually declutter this highlighter because the times I did reach for it, I didn't really love the sheen in it, I didn't love the shift, I didn't love the base, and yeah, it's definitely not my favorite. So I am gonna declutter this. I might repurpose this packaging because I think this would be a good kind of compact to press things into. but this one will be decluttered. So that was a very successful month. I actually decluttered one of my highlighters, which I wasn't expecting to do. But I'm going to go through the other ones that I still have in. I won't give them any kind of reviews yet. I just want to show you what I am with the uses. Because some of them I used a few times, some of them I haven't used at all yet. Because obviously I have 10 highlighters with 5 uses each, that's 50 uses. So it will take me at least 2 months to go through all of these. But yeah, I'm going to go through the ones that I have used. So one that is in my top is my Becca Champagne Pop, and this one I have used twice so far. Yeah, I won't give any kind of reviews on it yet, but I do like it still, and like I said, it was one of my top highlighters. The next one on my list is the Sleek Solstice palette. I actually haven't used this at all yet, so this is something that I have to focus on next month. Up next in the list is my Benefit Sunbeam, and this I've used once. So not too much. It is unfortunately more of a darker tone, and it's something that I usually love using in summer, so it has been a bit trickier to incorporate this right now, but I'm gonna push myself and try to use this the remaining 4 uses in the next month. But that is the next one, and those were all of my kind of top highlighters. But like I said, these are all of my highlighters. I don't really have a big difference between the middle of the top and middle of the bottom. But next up on the list is my MAC Show Gold. This is the other kind of pink tone highlighter I have. It's more of a kind of golden pinky base with a pink shift, and it's absolutely stunning. The only thing is that it has tons of glitters in it. So this is the other one I'm trying out, and I've used it twice so far. And then I have 2 remaining highlighters to talk about. We have the What's Up from Benefit. I haven't used this at all yet. It's another one that I need to focus on next month. And then we have the Me Beat the Blues Pink Pearl highlighter, which I've used once. So in the highlighters, I overall have 24 uses to go among all of them, so I'm hoping to get all of them out next month, or at least majority of them. But now we're going to move on to my blushes, and I have all my blushes here that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to tell you which ones I'm introducing, and which ones are the top and which ones are the bottom. But I'm just going to go through them and show you what I'm introducing. I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm going to kind of tell you which ones are my top and which ones are my bottom. But if you want to see my complete ranking, you can check out that video. I have 2 NARS blushes that are on the top, and we have Luster, which is this blush right here. I do really love this one. I'm introducing this one. And then the other one that is in my top is Gina. I absolutely love this blush, and spoiler alert, this was my top blush when I ranked all my blushes. So yeah, this is the second blush in my top 5 blushes. Then when it comes to my bottom blushes, when it comes to NARS, I do have 3 of them. Technically, this blush right here would be my bottom 5, but this is the shade Adoration, which is one of the dual intensity blushes, and I currently have this in my Shop My Stash. And since this project is kind of used to get a better feel of my collection and just show some love to my top blushes and see if there's anything I want to declutter from my bottom ones, I feel like since I have this in my Shop My Stash, I already have an opinion on this now. So I will skip over any blushes that was recently in a project pan or in my Shop My Stash, and this is one of them. So I just wanted to mention them because they were in my ranking, so if there's any difference there, you understand why. But yeah, I will not include this in this project, but it was in my bottom 5. So instead there are another 3 blushes from NARS that is in my bottom. The first one is in Free Soul. It's just a really light shimmery pink blush. I use this more of a blush topper, but yeah, I need to get a better understanding of this blush because I'm not really sure where I can incorporate this in my collection. So I'm really excited to work on this, but that is the next one. And then we have Matahari, which is another blush. This one is matte. It's just kind of like a plummy pink blush. And then the last blush from NARS that is going to be in this project is the shade Ghoul, I think it is. This was a Sephora gift, and it's just a mini, as you can see. Also, before moving on to some other ones, this one was supposed to be in my top blushes. This is Rocateur from Benefit, but again, this was in my Shop My Stash last month, and I do have a really good understanding of this blush now, so I'm going to skip this over this one as well. So this one won't be in this project. And similarly with this blush, this is Fairly Precious from MAC. I had this in my pan of every color, which was a 3-month long project pan, or 2.5-month long project pan, and I used this tons and actually hit pan on this in this project as well. So although that ended at the beginning of September, I still feel like it was very recent, so I'm gonna skip over this one as well, but it was supposed to be in my top blushes. So the actual next blush that is in my top blushes is the Nabla Independence Skin Glazing Blush. This one is my newest blush in my collection, and so far I really love it, but I think it's going to be really good to incorporate this and use a bit more in this project to get a better feel of it. We have two more blushes that are in the top. We have the Rosy Glow blush from Dior. It looks like this. This is the fourth blush that is in my top, and then the last blushes in my top blushes is Wild Honey from Becca. And then lastly we have two more blushes to talk about. We have the Butter blush from Physicians Formula in the shade Plum Rose. This one is obviously my bottom blushes because I've gone through all of my top ones, and this is the second to last blush I'm going to work on. And then the very last blush is the Lolly Tint from Benefit. This is one of the liquid blushes. I have been working on quite a few of them in my Partners in Cream, but this one I haven't reached for yet, so I'm really excited to work on this a bit more and see what I think of it, because I haven't reached for this blush in a very long time. Well, that was all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I just want to show you kind of where I am with this project, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I think it's nice to get a better feel of my collection, and I think it's going to be quite difficult when I get to kind of other parts of my collection, like lipsticks and things like that, because I have so many of them, compared to like these categories where I mean, blushes, I think I have 34 or 35 blushes, so it's quite a lot still. But I mean, my lipsticks are, I think, 100 lipsticks at least, so I don't really know how I'm going to tackle those categories yet, but I'm going to get to that when I get to it. I haven't decided what category I'm going to roll in next month, but you can check out my next ranking videos, because the next ranking video that's going up is the category that's going to be rolled in next. But other than that, I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys!